Okay, so this weekend my family and I took a little trip, and we took a trip to an actual knife store. Now, the dealer is TKC Knives in Spurger, Texas, and I'm going to tell you what, they had thousands of knives in stock, no exaggeration. I mean, case after case of case knives. That's a pun, by the way, it's terrible. They also have buck knives, they had SOG, Benchmade, several other brands, Kershaw, just everyday knives. They had kitchen knives, all types of cutlery from inexpensive prices as low as $12 for kitchen knives. Most of the pocket knives range anywhere from $20 up to $800. Now, those are super rare, one of a kind case knives that I was looking at, and some of the more expensive rare buck knives that you could find. And of course, Benchmade, they're fairly expensive. But what got me to go to the store is I was looking on Case's website and looking at designs, and they have some knives on there that are either out of stock or not for sale on the Case website. So I looked if there's any local dealers, and lo and behold, TKC Knives in Spurger, Texas has Case knives that only you can find in store. They're a premium dealer, and I'm going to tell you what, it was super exciting. Now, this is the actual website from Facebook, TKC Knives. Simple design page. It's just got a few of the products there, but I'm going to tell you what, I was blown away. Now, this is the post I looked at that actually brought me there, and this is the knife that actually I had to go. I had to see this knife in person. Now, this is a Hawkbill, but it's green as you notice. It's a Sawcut Clover green bone handle. So I had to see this one in person. Now, I was curious as to if this one had been sold when I got there, because every case knife you get will have a different style. So the cut on them, because it is natural wood or natural bone, those types of knives, you'll never have the same design twice. So I was hoping that they still had this one in stock. And guess what? I was in luck. So here it is. Here is my Case Hawkbill Sawcut Clover bone pocket knife. Now, again, I was super excited. I get to take it out of the package here at home. I mean, this knife is fantastic. Look at this. Now, if you go online and you start reading about Case knives, you're not going to get a whole lot of information. You're going to have to do a lot of digging. I'll give you some info. This knife I purchased for $61.95. Actually, my wife purchased it for me, I should say. Let me correct myself there, because she got me 2 pocket knives and a kitchen knife. But $61.95 is what I paid. Retail on this knife appears to be $93. This is a $100 knife in quality, I guarantee you. Again, it wasn't for sale on the Case website, but it did list it as a product. It was for sale at Premier Dealers. It is called True Sharp Surgical Stainless Steel, otherwise known as 420. Look at how tight the tolerance is on this thing, okay? I mean, this is a slip joint knife, and I'm going to tell you what, that's the first time I've worked with it, and it has got a solid feel to it. Now, a Hawkbill is a pruning knife. So, whenever you're out and you actually prune, you do this motion. Some people will hold and push from them. My great-grandmother used to have a knife similar to this. It probably was a Case, but it was so old and beat up, left outside. She'd put gasoline on it to loosen it up whenever it would freeze up. She'd go out there and start pruning things in her garden. Now, this blade right here is 2.5 inches of that 420 high carbon, high finish steel, but the actual cutting edge, 2.75. Because you have so much curve on this Hawkbill knife, this is not an everyday carry that you would use for self-defense. This is a pocket knife. I would consider a gentleman's pocket knife because there is no pocket clip, so it just simply slides into the pocket, but this knife has a purpose. The purpose is it's a workhorse. So if you're pruning and using this knife to prune with, you know, and you're cutting things out in the garden, or you're actually peeling fruit with it, it works for that as well. For me, it's going to be a collector's piece. I know. You get all these knives and you don't use them. Well, that's true. But man, look at the color combo on this thing. Now, like I said, you can tell the back here. You can see how this is a more faded green and yellow, and you can see the bone actually coming through with that kind of darker brown. The front is what drew me to it, because there's not a lot of saw marks in it, because some of the Sawcuts, they could take every one that they had in the package out, and this green is going to have a different texture. I wanted that smooth texture, and I wanted that yellow fade on it, because you can compare the front and back, and this is a much better looking side. So this scale, as we'll say, is to me perfect. The one they took out of the box and put as the next display was nowhere near as nice as this one. So when you go looking at these knives, you're going to end up getting something that's a one-of-a-kind piece of art, if that's the way you feel about it. If you just want a tool, then you can spend a lot less money and you don't have to get this Clover green bone scale on it. You can get just the simple regular bone, or they even have the poly handles. And they're, you know, $10, $12 cheaper. But this one here, the camera probably won't pick it up, but you can see the brass and the stainless that's used to form the backbone of this knife. Now you have brass bolsters, and that's hard to see on camera here because it's a very light gold color. It almost looks stainless. And if you look at it up close, you can see the differentiation of the metal colors. And then you can see their strong, pronounced backbone of like an insert, but the insert would be brass. So this slip joint knife, very solid. Very beautiful knife. If you're into collecting, these are the kind of knives you need to look for. But again, it may be something you want to do in person, and I know that as I move this knife around, the reflection, you know, will hit the camera, and that just goes to show how shiny and high finish these knives are. Of course, made in America, extremely sharp, no kidding. There's no playing around with these, and the guys in the store who are very professional, very kind, they'll tell you these are some sharp knives, and they are not exaggerating. Had to have it. I mean, the power of the internet. You know, you see this knife on the internet and you go get it and it's there. I was super excited. So really appreciative to my wife. I love her very much. She spoiled me with this one and that one over there that I'll talk about later. But again, TKC Knives in Spurger, Texas. Google it. Take a look at Facebook. They got some awesome pictures. If you can, get there in person. See what all they have. It's not just a knife store. They've got everything you can imagine. They have, I mean, they even sell fresh coffee there. It's one of those kind of old-timey stores that you go in and get all the supplies you would need if you lived out in the country, and then they got a little bit of extra. I mean, they have some really nice stuff there. But again, a premier case dealer. Can't say enough good things about this quality knife. I mean, you can see, look at that slip joint, but it locks in. You know, I have the friction lock that's similar to this that flips up, but you can push the blade down. This one has a little bit of play, but it's a lot more solid than those knives. I mean, this one was meant to be used. Well, the thing is, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to take, clean it, wrap it back up, and put it in the box, which is a shame. So while I was at TKC Knives, my wife and I and our son were looking around, and they actually sell cases. They sell cases made by Case, and they sell generic brand cases to display your knives. It's an all glass case that's lockable on the side, and inside of it, it's got foam, but it's not that old school foam that's going to crumble with humidity. It's this nice new foam that's going to hold the blades in place, you know, in the open position or the half lock position as a display. You can hang it on the wall, or you can actually, it has dowel rods where to hold it at a 45-degree angle. So do yourself a favor, TKC Knives in Spurger, Texas. If you're looking for a case or you have time to go look at knives, fantastic. I can't say enough good things. While I was also there, you know my affinity for bucks, buck knives, but not just any buck. It's either got to be something that's discontinued or something that is just separating itself from the other lines. This one, well, it's just a plain old Bantam BHW, but the color combo on the handle, I'm going to show you what it's all about with this one because it is amazing. It was the last one they had. It's a discontinued style, and I'll tell you about it in the next video. So look forward to that. Enjoy, happy hunting, and once again, TKC Knives in Spurger, Texas. Give them a look. Might find something nice. Have a fantastic day.